All right, mic check, mic check, mic check. Hello, people. Welcome back in. Welcome back in. Let's, how we doing? Hold on. Let me turn this down all the way. 3, 2, voila. All right, let me close out of this. Let's see if we're live. There we are. There we are. We're live. We're live. Is there any echo? No echo. Good, good, good. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Just Sports Talk. This is GVS. Coming at you live. No, we have a couple things to talk about. We haven't done preview shows in a while. I've just kind of saved the channel for post-game reactions. It hasn't been since last postseason, last Eastern Conference Finals, Western Conference Finals, Stanley Cup, like summer, to be able to do the pregame show because, So it's been a while, but what I thought I'd do was just hop on here real quick, give my thoughts and reactions to, hey, we got a big one coming up tonight between the Spurs and the Knicks in the NBA Finals. We could talk a little bit about the World Cup if we want. We'll go over kind of some news in the sports world, but if you guys enjoy sports content, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. So let's get into it. Let me check the chat. Let's see if you guys have any. Let me know if who you got winning tonight out of the Knicks and the Spurs. I made a poll, so if you guys like that, be sure to let me know who you got winning in the polls. But if you have a hot take, sorry, I had to double check, make sure my mic's actually on. If you have a hot take, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Anything like, for example, hey, I think Wemby's going to score 10 points. Okay, that's a hot take. That is a really hot take, considering the dude's been fine. Or if your hot take is, I think Wemby's gonna drop 45 tonight. Spurs are gonna win. Make this thing interesting at 2-1. So, if you got any hot takes, be sure to let me know in the comments. So let's get into it. I don't plan on this show being like over an hour. I'll say that. So like this could be a quick 30-minute show, something like that. Because we got a couple things to do. I was thinking about making a couple shorts too for the Knicks and Spurs. I was thinking about making a couple meme videos today as well. Kind of do like a little preview. But yeah, guys, be sure to let me know who you got winning out of the Spurs and the Knicks. All right, let's get into it. So today, with today and what today's game entails, let's look at the average, players of the series so far. Obviously, with the Knicks leading the way, we have Jalen Brunson. Are we confused? Is anybody surprised by this? No, not at all. In rebounds and assists, obviously, you got to look at Towns or look at Hart too, because, what was Game 1 all about? I looked at the stat categories. I talked about it in a live stream once, that what he lacks in points, he makes up for in all other facets of the game, whether it's assists, rebounds. You look at San Antonio, Wembanyama obviously leading, averaging 25 and 11 assists. You can look at Castle. Okay, no, hold on. I want to go to where's Game 1? Game 1, where's Game 1? All right, here's Game 1. So, Game 1, when you look at the box score and the points and how things played out with this one, here's the thing. This fella right here, Julian Champagnie, all 5 of those threes were in the first half. He didn't make a second one in the second half. He only made 1 point in the second half, which totaled his points at 16. Who's another player? I talked about Harper having 16. And him, because, you add those together, that's 4. That's 20 points off the bench. The Knicks had 28 off the bench, if I'm not mistaken. You also have other players like Fox and Vassell not hitting that 10-point threshold of, you need to have your guys be, especially if you're going to play 38, 36 minutes. Rebounds, assists, okay. But, the impact of Fox or Vassell from what they were doing versus Hart, if you want to look at a point-by-point percentage, Hart clearly had the better game. What were the other things that happened in the second half? Well, the Knicks went on their run to start it off, and then in closing, the closing final 6 minutes or something, Knicks went on an absolute tear. Where's Brunson? Brunson had 30 points, and then in the final 3 minutes, the Spurs did not make a single bucket, and they went on an 11-0 run at the very end of the game to close them out. All right, now let's head over to game 2. Where's game 2? There we are. 105, 104. We know about the turnover. We know about the, the botch and all that. Let's go. Where's our box score? Here we go. Look at that. Josh Hart, 0 points. 0 points. But what he lacks in points, he makes up for. That is hilarious. That's actually hilarious. Double checking and looking at it like that. Okay, and then we go over here. Look, better game. Fox, better game. Castle, better game. Like, Wembanyama, of course, still had 29. Like, that's what it's going to have to be tonight. Like, let's not kid ourselves. Let's look at the 3 ball. 11 for 29. That's not too bad. Field goal, 47%, 38%. Oh, 15 threes. No, that's actually pretty big. Like, 29 threes versus 38 threes, but they made 15 three-pointers. Shot 42%. And then there was like the final transition plays and stuff. I'm just looking at whatever happens tonight in game 3. Oh, well, we can look at this. Hold on, pause. So here's the 102, 104. Here's Brunson's pull up. Got it. He's been clutch and automatic from that just little simple 8-foot, 7-foot floater just outside the key. Hold on, let me get a swig real quick. Made a little banana smoothie. All right, here we go. I'll fast forward. Where is... Okay, so here we got Wembanyama, the 12 seconds to go. Here we go. Castle's not even looking, which I'd put. It's hard to put the blame. Like it's a little bit of both. It's both. Now Wemby was quick to foul because you don't want them chucking up a last-second shot. So then they transition here. We get a free throw. Okay, and then here's the final possession here. Passes it over. Here's Wemby. All he needs to do is make this or a little layup. Off the back iron. No good. Okay. Now, with how intense... Here's the other thing that I've said, too, about the Knicks and all of their playoff series. I said this about the Cavs series, and I've said this about... Oh, my gosh, the Sixers series. New York went up 2-0 in both those series, and I personally thought they'd get rid of the Sixers in 5, and I thought they'd beat the Cavs in 6. And so now, as we sit where they're up 2-0 with the chance to sweep in Madison Square Garden, the difference between what we've seen in these first 2 NBA Final games versus what we saw in the Cavs series and the Sixers series is the Cavs gave up. After the Cavs blew that lead that they had in Game 1 and went down 2-0 and then went back to Cleveland, we watched what Game 3 was. We watched how the Knicks pushed the pace, and that, what led to about a 9-point lead would then extend to about a 14-point lead. And then, oh my gosh, it's halftime, and they're almost up by like 50. Like, what the hell's going on here? And so we saw in real time in the Eastern Conference Final Series, we saw the Cavs give up. We saw the Sixers give up. Like, oh, we're down 3-0, and they roll over. And with how close these games have been against San Antonio, where, mind you, again, Wemby could have won it right there at the buzzer. Okay, and then this thing is 106-105, crazy buzzer beater ending. And then if not that, you look at Game 1, no buckets in the final 3 minutes, and the Knicks go on an 11-0 run. Without that 11-0 run, Knicks don't win that game. Like, go look at the box stat. Like, they needed that 11-0 run to catch up, tie, and then take the lead. Like, the Spurs did blow a lead. They did, because there's a 28-point swing in the second half, considering how much they were up in the third, because they started the third 17. It was like a 17-4 run, something like that. They came out real hot in the third quarter, but then Brunson got it going, and everybody, like, the Spurs just went cold. But with how close these games have been, where Knicks won by 1 point and a miss, and a turnover too. Wemby sold twice. Chances are I don't think that happens again. That's just me. And with how competitive this series has been and with how tight these games have been as a whole, that's why I'm thinking, no, the Knicks don't sweep. Maybe they lead 3-1 after we're all said and done. And maybe they could, because there's parts of me that think maybe tonight is just too big. The expectation, the stage, it's all too much for the Knicks to handle. The pressure's too much, and then look at that. Well, hold on, where's Wemby? Yeah, we got Wemby dapping up his fans. We got old Knick legends cheering him on. I just think there's maybe the pressure is too big at Madison Square Garden and the Knicks lose, because I'm not gonna change my kind of thoughts, and like, I've seen the Knicks lose series in the Garden before and lose clutch games in the Garden before. Does anybody remember the Pacers series last year? Does anybody remember I just countless times. Anyways, but there's parts of me that think this finals cannot end in 4. So something would have to happen in the Spurs either winning tonight or winning Wednesday. Do they play Wednesday? When is game 3? Game 3. Oh no, today's game 3. When's game 4? Wednesday. Okay, game 4, Wednesday. There's just parts of me that believe like there's got to be something where we have a master class from Wembanyama. We have a 30-point game, 40-point game, something, or we could have help too, because I love how we labeled the Thunder the most complete team, the most stacked team, with the most depth, and then all of a sudden after they lose game 7, it's like, oh, SGA needs help. Huh? What the hell? So, yeah. The fadeaway. Clutch fadeaway. So, yeah. Is there anything else? Let me look at large leads. I think there will be large leads tonight, but again, you got to look at when substitutions happen. That's probably when people are going to get back in the game. And I'll give my thoughts to this game as it's going live too. Hold on, let me check and make sure. Oh, okay, good. All right. Hold on, chat. I haven't looked at the what up? We're rooting for the Knicks. All right. Let me see the votes. We got 1 vote for the Knicks. All right. I haven't checked the chat in a while. Sorry, people. Okay. Let me see something here. Okay, dokie. All right, let's continue. So that's kind of my thoughts. Let's see if we have anything else going on around the world in the NBA Finals. Hey, did you guys know there's a new Toy Story movie? No, I'm teasing. MSG security tight. Yeah, where they're talking about like they're doing TSA screening, and it's like, holy shit. When in New York? No. Okay, Hawks coach Snyder agreed to a multi-year contract. Ziggs back for its title. Oh my gosh, $1 million freaking dollars to sit on Celebrity Row at the Knicks game. Look, they have the money to do it, so it's like whatever. Good on them, but like $1 million freaking dollars. $1 million to sit courtside. It's ridiculous. The ticket prices for this Knicks Spurs, like where nosebleeds were $9K. Ridiculous. Like, that's Super Bowl ticket prices. Now, Super Bowl is a little different because it's not, it's one game, just one game, one shot. That's it. Because I remember when the Super Bowl, because the national championship is going to be in Vegas this year, but like within a reasonable drive distance, could have caught the Super Bowl in L.A., could have caught the Super Bowl in Arizona, could have caught the Super Bowl not in New Orleans. that would have been a far freaking drive. I'm trying to think, where was Super Bowl? Yeah, Super Bowl 58 was in Vegas. Yeah, Allegiant Stadium. Yeah, Chiefs and 49ers. Trying to think. Super Bowl 60 was also pretty far drive, but reasonable drive. You know, go to California, go to Levi Stadium where the 49ers play, which is so crazy to think. Like, yeah, that's 49ers play there, Seahawks win. Anyways, but so let me try. But like I've just been watching because I've been curious. Super Bowl 56. I don't even think they sold Super Bowl 55 tickets. I'll be real. I don't remember. Like when the Bucks and the Chiefs played, I don't even think they had Super Bowl tickets priced out. Anyways, but yeah, the 56, I think nosebleeds were $8,000, $9,000. But again, like this is in LA, like this is kind of to be expected. 57 in Arizona, nosebleeds were actually like $3,000, and so it's like whoa. But again, it's an arm and a leg, like $3,000 for nosebleeds. Come on. Now lower bowl was like $15,000, which I mean that's to be expected. Like the same exact seats that I would buy to go watch, you know, the Cardinals play the Packers, or you know, the Cardinals play the Ravens. Like I spent $40 because the Cardinals were shite, and this is before the Ravens were like super good. Where the Ravens are in town, like let's drive up the price. But I went and saw the Ravens Cardinals game. I think I spent $50 for nosebleeds because the Cardinals had won 2 games to that point, and it was a game sometime in like November or something. So you have the Ravens that are sitting at like 9-3 or something like that, and then you have the Cardinals that are 2-7. Ain't nobody want to go watch the 2-7 Cardinals. So yeah, tickets were like $50. Fun to go watch. Those same ticket prices though, like if I were to sit, you know, courtside, but like lower bowl, maybe $200, $250. Those same exact tickets for the Super Bowl, because I was curious. I think it was like $12,000, $15,000, somewhere around there, and it's like holy shit. But the Vegas was 11. Vegas, I distinctly remember looking, and Vegas was like 11 or 12 grand, which whatever. It would have been fun to go because I mean it's the 49ers Chiefs, and that Super Bowl was pretty fun. Would have been a snooze fest for the whole first half because it was a field goal party out there. But I don't remember the ticket prices for last Super Bowl 60 or 59. I really don't remember because I didn't look. But I would guess they were expensive. But like the fact that lower bowl, because I always look like lower bowl national championship. When the Final Four was here, I think nosebleeds were like 800. I debated on going, but again, it was like 800's pretty steep. But I mean, $1 million freaking dollars to go sit courtside. And funny enough, $1 million to go sit courtside for this game and watch the Knicks blow it, and then watch the Spurs win by like 4 or 5 points. You know, whatever. Like it's gonna be a close game. Like spend $1 million to go sit courtside and be right there, like 2 feet away from Wemby or Castle, just sinking the 3. That's the final dagger. Like it'd be super funny. There we go. So that's my thoughts. I think the ticket price is insane for the Knicks. But again, it's, you know what? Let's go look up how much ticket prices cost for ticket prices Spurs. Oh, don't even get me started on the World Cup. I already know the World Cup was ridiculous. Look at that. Spurs ticket price 2011 through 2021. $163 average for probably a nosebleed. All right, let's go. Spurs NBA Finals. Come on now. Okay, so this is from their news. $772 for probably a nosebleeds. Back of the gym. Okay, versus, well, let's look here. Yeah, 1,000. That one's a 5 right there. That's a 3. That's a 4. 1,000, 1,000, 3,000. Okay. No, that makes sense. Cheapest ticket, 7K, 8K. That's ridiculous. Well, yet you have to know the market. It's because it's New York. If it... I don't... It's because it's New York. It's because it's New York. I think... Well, let's look at other big sports towns. Let's look at Celtics in Boston. Balcony level, yeah, 480. Yep. Courtside 100. Yep. Well, so that's Boston. Let's go Warriors. Back in 22, because we got a California team. The other thing too, hold on, let's go ticket prices. Thunder last year. Western Conference Finals average. Okay. The other thing too, and this happened with Arizona State. I think I went to two or three Arizona State games that year, and tickets were maybe $100, but I'd be like lower bowl, pretty low, versus nosebleeds that are like $30. But what happened is, as Arizona State got better and better, and after they beat Utah, and then who else did they beat? They beat Utah, and then they beat. Let's just go look. Can I spell? Hello. After they beat... Okay, so they lost to... Okay, who they beat? Wait a minute. No, this is... Where's 2024? Ah, yes. Here we go. So after they beat... So they beat Utah, and then they lost to Cincinnati, and their ranking did not change. But then they rattled off 3 wins in a row here. And then this game, because what BYU was doing in their own personal season as well, they started to rattle off some wins too. And I believe they beat Utah. I can't remember. But these tickets, because the winner of this went to the Big 12 championship game, most likely to go play Iowa State, or... Like, there's a legit chance, like, hey, either team that wins this could potentially go to the college football playoff. These tickets were expensive because it was Utah. And at the time, Utah... Hello? Okay. At the time... Oh, that's... Okay. Something fell. At the time, Utah was... I believe ranked. They were ranked. This 4-2 nonsense is not accurate. They were ranked, but okay. Let's go back to it. Oh, we scrolled too far. Where is it? So they were ranked in the top 15. I believe they were ranked 9th, something like that. So they were ranked. They beat them. But they just, again, they rattled off all these wins in a row, and BYU rattled off all the wins in a row. And what could have been like, I don't know, maybe $150 tickets for lower bowls, because that's what I had spent, like, going to the handful of games that I went to that season. This BYU game, because it was such a hot ticket to have, and because it was like first come, first serve, here we go, this is for a chance to go to the Big 12 and also the college football playoff, nosebleeds turned into $800. And in the span of 1 week, right after, I want to say right after this Kansas State win here, that is when tickets just, because I was debating, because I wanted to go to this one, but of course it was in Kansas State, so it's like, can't go. Okay, so it's like, okay, all right, let's pick. Do we go see UCF or do we go see BYU? I was like, hell yeah, let's go see BYU. And should have bought that ticket when I had the chance, because this ticket was actually more expensive to go see than this ticket, because there was a realistic chance of, because I looked at tickets for this lower bowl was only $150 versus lower bowl here was in the thousands. Like, that's how much of a hot ticket price it became, because inevitably it was the game of the year for the Big 12, because Arizona ended up winning it, and then they went to the Big 12 where they beat Iowa State, and then you have Arizona State in the college football playoff. But like that's what this game was. Is it kind of in the same sense when we talk about the Knicks, is it became a hot ticket where, I mean, I bet because you can do this, it's kind of fun. You can buy NBA final tickets just to buy NBA final tickets for the hell of it, when the season starts. I bet courtside tickets to the NBA finals, like round one, game one, if you just bought them to buy them, that's probably the right way to say that, probably $10,000 or whatever, because we don't know who's going and stuff. And then, but yeah, since it was the Knicks, and then the Knicks just kept getting closer and closer to the finals, that's what probably just skyrocketed the prices to the point where you're paying $1 million, which is freaking ridiculous. And then, yeah, nosebleeds, which I don't even want to go look now at how much nosebleeds are. You know what? Let's just go do it. Let's go do it right now. Knicks, Game 3, ticket prices. Excuse me. Range from roughly 4,000 to over 100,000. Nosebleeds, the get in, 5,000. Oh my gosh. Jeez Louise, dude, this is terrible. This is bad. To quote Stephen A., this is bad. This is really bad. No, but it's New York. It's New York. I wouldn't put it past them. New York. Speaking of, no, I'm teasing. Yeah, but for Timothy Chalamet, it won't be nothing. Pocket change, $1 million? Come on. I think he made $40 million with the last Dune movie, so it's like he's got money. He's got money to go. Yeah, tonight I'm taking the Spurs. They have to make this thing interesting. I'm not a fan of sweeps, ever, because it's just boring. It's like you went through the Timberwolves. Now again, the Timberwolves were injured for the most part, but then you beat the defending champs in 7, phenomenal series, and then we have the finals, and it's like you guys get swept. Like it would be boring. I wouldn't like it. All right, let's go around the horn real quick to all the sports in the leagues. Hold on, people. I haven't looked at the chat in a minute. We've been streaming for a hot minute. Let's look at the chat, guys. Sorry, let's look at the chat. We're still rooting for the Knicks. All right. Good on you guys. Good on you for rooting for the Knicks. Ranked the top 50 players at the World Cup. We could look at this and we could do a video. I think definitely my rankings would probably go. Let's look at the top 10 clubs. I mean, we got who does he play for? Because Spain, Argentina, Brazil, France. Like, these are our top 50 players right now. Because if Messi's not going and Messi doesn't play well, Argentina's going nowhere. If Mbappe doesn't play well, France is going nowhere. So that's that. And you know who else they're missing off of this top 10 list? Cristiano Ronaldo. Like, if Ronaldo does not play well, Portugal is going to lose and not even make the knockout rounds. Well, I think their team is good enough to make the knockout rounds, but from the knockout rounds to advance anywhere, maybe if they're playing somebody like Team USA or Canada, or they luck out and play. Well, no, if they play Japan, if Japan and Portugal play in the knockout rounds and Ronaldo's not playing, Japan's winning. Like, Japan is one of those sneaky good teams that I think could do some stuff. But like Pulisic, like Team USA, it's like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, he's definitely a big impact, but with where's the group stages? Let's do World Cup group stages. Standings. Here we go. Where's Team America? Team America. Belgium. United States. There we go. So, like, let's just say that Pulisic wasn't playing. I would say Australia. Oh, well, maybe Turkey. But, yeah, if he's not playing, the United States doesn't even make it out of group play. Like, that could be Australia or Turkey's to steal, which I've already mentioned. I'll take probably Mexico, Canada, Brazil, United States, Germany, Japan. I'm torn between the Netherlands as well. Belgium, Spain, France, Argentina, Portugal, and England, which is probably everybody's picks. Because if not England, definitely Croatia. But it's like, out of Uzbekistan or the Congo or Colombia, can they beat Portugal? The only, I could see an upset here because they were one of the last teams to get in. So maybe we could have like a tie here, because it's really weird. It's not wins and losses. It comes down to goals, because one game, Argentina when was it? Because like when they're tied or something, like both teams have one win and one draw, like they'll go to, so when Argentina played Algeria, Argentina scored 4 goals, but when they tied with Austria, they only scored 1, and it was 1-1. And like they'd use Argentina scored, like it's super weird. They don't do the win-loss does matter and the draw does matter, but like there's the goals. There was a super weird because it was in the 28 World Cup, and Argentina was playing somebody, but Argentina had more wins, but they were third, and then they netted a goal that helped them secure the second bid in that group. I can't remember who they were playing, but there was something. Yeah, because the how they score, the score, I don't understand it, but all right, we can look at that later. Let me see here. Yeah, we'll look at predicting how all 48 men's World Cup team will do. All right, let's go back to the top. Saw this one. Sorsby's granted injunction eligible to play in 2026. So, if you guys have been living under a rock a little bit, there's been something going on in the gambling world. We do not promote this kind of behavior at all as college football. Yeah, we're sponsored by DraftKings. Be sure to use promo college playoff at checkout. We saw what was going on with this one. This one's been sitting for a while. I haven't made any videos or reactions because it's been on and off this whole time for like the last 3-4 weeks. Because one video I would say, okay, he's good to play. The other video I'd say, okay, Texas Tech is screwed. They're not going to be able to. Maybe this sounds like it's good to go. I don't know. Like I've seen reports on him with over 10,000 bets. We saw that he spent like 90 grand when he was a backup quarterback, I believe, with Indiana. Which, by the way, I had no clue he was ever at Indiana. My final take on all of it is you legalized it and you let players bet, so it's like that's on y'all. Now, to the amount of like if he was, you know, because it's kind of like the Pete Rose thing, which I have my own thoughts and opinions on that as well. But if you've, because it said it spent like 90 grand or something. I don't know. But if if you let the players want to bet on their games, it is what it is. Look at the NBA Finals. You don't think any of the players are betting, okay, I'm probably going to score 10 points today. You don't think players act like that? That's what the whole Pete Rose, like that is why gambling is looked at such a negative lens, because of Pete Rose in baseball games. And so, I don't know. If he is playing, I think Texas Tech might have a shot at the Big 12, but if not, no. The Big 12 will go to Kansas State, Iowa State, BYU, Utah, or Arizona State. I think the Big 12 is up in the air. But yeah, that's kind of my thought. It is legal. The players can bet. Now, if they get a little crazy, like how it said he was made 10,000 bets, it's like, well, hey fella, let's get you a little bit of help. But I don't know. Now, do I think? Hold on, let's look into this a little bit. Congratulations for winning the temporary restraining order against the NCAA that will allow him. Holy shit! So the NCAA put a restraining order on him. They're like, you've bet way too much. I think, I don't know. It is what it is. Like, I'm not thinking that Texas Tech is magically just going to have a year that Indiana had last year. They were, speaking of, college football is sponsored by, no. I think, Texas Tech had a lot of hype last year, and then Oregon smacked them around in the Orange Bowl, and I think, I don't know. We'll see. I'll keep this circled. We already made a joke about TSA here. Oklahoma City GM backs Chet as underdog, defends SGA. Okay. Let's go to the NFL. Let's talk about the NFL a little bit. Which I did see. Hold on. Let's go back to the NBA where it talked about Chet. I think it's silly that people think that Chet Holmgren is a bum and that the what the hell are they called? The Thunder. That the Thunder should trade him. That is absolutely blasphemous, because it's like the dude's fine. Okay, he had one bad game 7. Guess who has a handful of bad game 7s, yet we just let him continue to play on and play on and play on? James Harden, Joel Embiid, LeBron James, Jokic, like plenty of players also have bad game 7s, and so to just label Chet a bust and like, oh, throw him out, get rid of him, trade him because of one bad game, I think it's a little ridiculous. And he also inked a deal for the 5 years for however many millions of dollars, so it's not like he's going anywhere. Alright, let's go right here real quick, and then we will how we doing? Okay. So that's my thoughts on Chet. That'll be fine. Alright, we've kind of given our thoughts on these. Nothing too much. We gotta go over the NBA. Whoa, we haven't gone over the MLB in a while. I did talk about how the Reds are under 500. Now they're 2 games under 500. Somebody sweeped them the other day. I don't know if it was it the Cardinals? Let's double check. Shall we? It was the Cardinals. Okay, see, I'm so smart. I'm so smart, people. Look at me. I'm so smart. All right. Baseball. We'll cover baseball a little bit more. We're approaching the dog days. All right, the NHL. Okay, I think I'm excited for Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final. I think the Hurricanes came back. Improbable comeback. It was super awesome. Now I thought it was going to be a blowout. I really did, and then it turned into a game. Sorry, people, because the Knights just let him back into it, and Mitch Marner's hat trick was forgotten instantly because it's like, well, it just let him back into the game. So for Game 4. There's parts of me that I'm leaning towards the Golden Knights, and the reason why I'm leaning towards the Golden Knights is because there have been a lot of things that have shown me. Now, the Hurricanes have no quit, but I have not seen in this series the Hurricanes get a lead and hold on to a lead. Their only win was an overtime win, and the last time they had a lead in regulation, they blew it. And since then, whoa, we're going all the way back to Game 1. Whoa, I shouldn't be yawning so much. Sorry, people. Going back to Game 1, in that second period when the Knights led 3-2. Just the offensive, just sure will to dominate and dictate a game has not been there in Game 2, in Game 3. It's been, they're playing from behind because Game 1, Hurricanes came out hot, went up 2-0, but then Golden Knights settled and they caught back up and then they eventually took a lead. But then, sorry, something was in my freaking eye. But then Game 2, Golden Knights took the lead. Game 3, Golden Knights also took the lead. The Hurricanes have not been the first punch team. And Game 4, I have a feeling we're probably not going to see a blowout. Like, if there was going to be a blowout, it was going to be Game 3. Because the other thing, they did win 5-4, but they also had 2 goals taken off. One of them, I'm a little in the air. But the second one, when they did hit Anderson, I do think that was goalie interference. There's just parts of me that think that if the Hurricanes want to win Game 4, they need to punch them right in the mouth and just get something going where they get up 1-0 at the end of the first period, something like that, where they're not playing from behind, and they also have to have somebody show up. In the same turn, Eichel hasn't shown up either for Vegas, I will say, so it's kind of equal in there. But like both captains, Stahl and Stoner, they've shown up. The goalies, to this point now, as we're approaching Game 4, because people are kind of questioning, okay, who's going to be on net for the Hurricanes, I don't think there's any question. I think it is Anderson. And for Vegas, I think it's Hart. Both goalies have stunk it up. They really have. Like, there's no two ways about it. Both goalies, like, look at these goals that they're giving up all the way down. Now, 2 of the 5 that Carolina gave up the other day were own goals. So it just, yeah, I don't think this series is going to turn into something where it turns into 2-1 victory, 2-0 victory, 3-2 victory. Like, it's probably going to be high scoring from here on out. But if it does turn into that where, okay, we have some shutouts, we have some goalies playing on their head, no better time than Game 4 for it to start, where waters are a little rocky here, where 5-4, 4-3, 5-4, high scoring games. No better time for it to even out to, okay, 2-1, 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, something like that. I don't know. And in my prediction for the Stanley Cup final, I'm still just predicting 7 games or 6 games. I want to see a good series. I'd be indifferent for either team to win. Like, there's parts of me where it's like I'd be cool with the Hurricanes winning. There'd be parts of me where I'm cool with Golden Knights winning. So there is that. So that's the news in the NHL. Let's talk about college baseball, and then we'll get out of here. Oh, this is basketball. Where's college sports? It sucks that college baseball isn't right here, quick to grab. It's not. Here we go. Who won yesterday out of the... Because I was watching the Texas-Oregon game a little bit. I knew Texas went up, and then Oregon started chipping away at the lead. I don't remember if they came back. June 7th. Okay. So Texas ended up winning 6-5. Oklahoma won 13-12. Let's look at the college baseball. I want to look at the bracket. Can I get the bracket, please? That's not going to give me college baseball bracket, because I think you have to win your regional. You have to win something, and then you get to go to... Yes, then you get to go to Omaha. Oh, wait. So who we still waiting on? Who we still waiting on right here in this? Huh? Who? What? Who are we waiting on? Because West Virginia, Troy, Oklahoma. Oh, Oklahoma. I guess that hasn't registered yet. Is that so? Sunday, Monday. Oh, today's Monday. My bad. So hold on. Wait. Time out. So Sunday, June 7th. Monday, June 8th. 2 p.m. Oh, so in a couple hours. Okay. So Oklahoma, Kansas. Winner of this, no thanks. So winner of this goes to that slot, I would guess. Alabama advances. And then these guys play their series. I think it's a best of 3. Or it's a single elimination. Oh. Winners bracket. Game 1, game 2, game 3. Okay. Yep. So they win. Like, let's say West Virginia wins. Troy would go here. North Carolina wins. Okay. Yep. Okay. Baseball is so funny. Because, like, everybody was talking about, like, oh my gosh, St. Mary's has upset UCLA. And then it's like, well, but then they kept playing. There was another game. And it's like, what? If they upset them, they upset them. Like, it shouldn't, but anyways. I don't know who would. Okay, so that's college baseball. I've tried to follow it, but I haven't been. I've been bad. I've been terrible about it. I've been following the Stanley Cup more. And then that's all. That's all. Like, I've already given my thoughts on college football. I've already given my thoughts on the NFL because we're 100 days out, somewhere around there. Already given my soft division predictions on that. But anyways, guys, that's all for today. Tune back later for the game 3. Let me check the polls one more time, guys. Let me know who you guys got. Knicks. All right, looks like we're riding with the Knicks tonight. Okay, all right. I'm riding with the Spurs, but let's hop over here. All right, people. All right. the stream here, guys, but I thank y'all for tuning in and hanging out with me. Here, let's go. Let's go over here, but I will see you all. Yeah, we're gonna do. Yeah. We don't. There's nothing much. I mean, power index. Oh, we could. You know, it's never too early to rank NFL teams. You know, we could do that later. But I just wanted to come on here real quick. I know it was an hour stream. I didn't mean for it to be an hour. I wanted it to be like 30 minutes. But I wanted to give my thoughts and reactions to, you know, potentially on hand what we got going on with Game 3. Because it's going to be huge. Game 3 is going to be huge. And I think that if this series, going back to like what my original kind of thought was, is after the Knicks went up 2-0 against the Cavs, we saw the Cavs give up. And I just think the Spurs, there's no quitting them. And I would be very hard pressed to see that the Spurs just quit and give up. And I think it would be even funnier with how much everybody is saying, you know, Knicks in 4, Knicks are going to win. I think it would be absolutely hilarious if the Knicks blew a 2-0 lead and then the Spurs rattled 4 wins in a row, kind of like what the Suns did. Because back in 2021, after the Suns went up 2-0, and it's like, okay, dude, the Suns are going to win the NBA Finals. Bucks rattled 4 in a row. And I just think 2-0, we can always circle back and go back to the big one, the 3-1 lead for the Warriors against the Cavs. Like, this series is not over till it's over. And that's my thoughts on that. Like, yes, it's impressive that the Knicks are up 2-0, but eventually the ball is going to bounce San Antonio's way. And what's going to happen, and how do the Knicks recover when San Antonio starts to, you know, build a little bit of momentum and a lead? Because, like, let's say that the Spurs do exactly what the Knicks did and swept them in Madison Square Garden, where you're up 2-0 and now it's 2-2, and we're headed back to San Antonio for them to take a 3-2 lead. What then? Like, all the momentum's back in San Antonio's pocket. Hopefully this series can go 7 games, 6 or 7 games, and if that is going to happen, Spurs need to win tonight. But that's just my thoughts on that. I thank y'all for hanging out with me. We'll end the stream here, but I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Also, if you guys like gaming stream, be sure to hang around. We'll probably queue up a gaming stream in a minute, but catch you all in the next one. Peace.